Sup guys, I have a more casual deck for you today. This is Wind Earth Hyuga discard. It's pretty fun, not very competitive, but it's cool. So I'll just start off with zeros. First, we got 3 of the Vanilla Neji. He's a 3/0/3/0, 2 mental power, which is important because I play Shikamaru's Decision. Growth, he's pretty good. Next, it's Wind Earth, so Hotaru, 3 of her. She can draw you cards. Next, 2 Hanare, kind of the discard hand control aspect. She has 2 mental power, just a really good 0-drop. And then last 2 zeros, we got 2 Guard Childhood, because you can squad guard Tamari, and that's like a hand control card, so fits the theme. And then for 1-drops, we have 2 Naruto clone. He searches one of the cards that I'm going to go over later, and can search another thing in the deck, so he's good. Also, he's wind and lightning, so he helps you go pay for your wind missions, and then also lets you go into your Naruto reinforcements. Next, 1 Ino Childhood. We have the mental, so we play it. Next, we have 1 Hanabi. She limits your opponent's hand size, kind of can stop their aggro a little bit too, because your opponent's track ninja can only be sent out to attack as a head ninja, so call one of their support guys, and then it can make it difficult for them. And then we have 1 Neji Childhood, just because I wanted another copy of Neji in here, because he's pretty important to the deck, and I didn't want to have to search him with Shikamaru's Decision, because I have other things to search for, and search for a male, you don't get a draw off Shiga's Decision, so 1 of him. And then continuing the theme of discard, we have 2 Tamari Wind Scythe. Look at your opponent's hand, discard it, or put a jutsu to the chakra area. Pretty solid for any kind of hand control. And then on to turn 2s, we have 1 Book Smarts, because she's searchable, and a lot of your guys have mental power 2 or more. And then KNS, this is one of the cards that Naruto clone can search, because he has clone status, and it's really good with Shikamaru's Decision and Sakura's Decision. So pretty important card for the deck. The 4 mental power pretty much makes it on that card. And then next for 2-drops, we have 1 Hinata, just because with Shika's Decision, most of my guys are 2 mental, and she's turn 2, and a lot of the Hinatas that are good are turn 3, so she's just an option. I have another Hinata in here that I can search for if I don't have 3 mental power out. So also, she's pretty good whenever your opponent searches or draws any cards due to a ninja or ninja card, you can discard 1 card from their hand at random, and then you can draw 1 and discard 1. So more of that hand control. And then this is the card that the Naruto clone is in here for. It's Naruto and Neji Hyuga. The effect is, if this card is put in play by sending your in-play Naruto Uzumaki to your chakra area, you can send one of your opponent's battle rewards at random to your chakra area, face up. And if it's put in play by sending your Neji to your chakra area, you draw 2. So it's an easy way to get more card advantage and get more chakra for the jutsus. So pretty good. Only need 2 because the clone searches it. And then 3-drops, we have 1 of these Hinata, because I play the Neji Hinata squad, and I'm going to be reinforcing with her and Neji eventually, so I want to get value out of the card immediately. She's the one that, when she's put in play, you randomly discard a card in your opponent's hand. So guaranteed value, and then I can reinforce without it feeling like I'm missing out on something. And then last 3-drop, 1 Naruto. He goes into reinforcements. And next we have 1 4-drop, Tamari Conqueror Platoon. It's hand control, discard. It's really good. Can tear your opponent's hand apart, especially if you go Tamari and then immediately drop this on it. And then 5 drops, we have 1 Yamato Control by Fear. He has Mastery. He negates ninja's effects. Just a really good card, limited to 1. And then another Byakugan Ninja, Hiyashi. He has Mastery as well. Mental Power 2. Start of your opponent's turn, if your opponent has no cards in their hand, you win a battle reward. That one doesn't happen too often, but your opponent's hand size is reduced by 1. So just a little bit more hand control. On to the missions, we have 3 Student Sensei. It's a turn 1 Earth mission that lets you draw Getsu Chakra for your Jutsu, because you're going to be trying to play them early game to attack your opponent's hand. So, pretty solid Earth mission. Next, 2 Sheikah's Decision. It searches for your Sakura, your KNS, your Neji if you need it, your Hinata, depending on how much mental power you have. Pretty solid. It helps you get your KNS for this next mission, Sakura's Decision. I included it because if you injure KNS with it, you draw a bunch of cards, and that gets you a lot of chakra to play your early game jutsu. Next, 2 loss. Just a wind draw mission. I needed some more draw. Next, we have 1 training. It's at 1, discards a card in your opponent's hand. Pretty solid. Lets you draw if you have equal to or more. And then last 2 missions, 2 comp strengths. Stops ninjas from using jutsu that you know are going to use them, and then negates effects. And then jutsus, we have 2 Gentle Fist. Requirements: Byakugan. Discards a card in your opponent's hand at random, and if the entrance cost is 2 or higher, you give 1 damage to a ninja opposing the user. Random discard. It's only 1 earth though, so you can use your wind to help pay for it, which is good. And then 2 Fatal Blow. This one is earth, but if you use Student and Sensei turn 1, or you go turn 2, Sheikah's Decision, you charge an earth card, you have enough chakra for it. And if user is Byakugan, you look at your hand and discard 1 card. If not, it's a random discard, but the user doesn't have to be Byakugan. That's why it's cool. And if it is, you can pick any card out of your opponent's hand. So you can pick out like their ninja that they have set up for next turn, and then maybe they won't be able to deploy anything. Pretty good. Next, we have 1 Detonating Kunai, just because it has the generic chakra cost, and we can use our wind to pay for it. And then next, we have 1 8 Trigrams, limited to 1, and then 1 Concentration. Kind of just blanket effects to protect your ninjas. Next, we have 1 Big Bang. You play wind in here, it lets you draw cards, gets you chakra. Next is 2 8 Trigrams Air Palms, requires Byakugan plus entrance of 4 or more. Targets 1 ninja, so it's a snipe, and then it goes to the owner's hand. And then Expert, if it's Neji Hyuga, it goes to the top of the deck instead, and you draw. So the only ninja in my main deck that can play this card is Hiyashi, but in my reinforcement deck, I have the turn 4 Neji and Hinata, and the turn 5 Neji and Hinata. So I pretty much have access to them whenever, if it's after turn 4 or 5. That makes the 8 Trigrams Air Palms worth playing. And then last jutsu, Hydro Pump, just because anyone turn 5 and higher can use it. So Yamato can use it, and he has mastery. And then Garatamari can also use it. They have mastery. Hiyashi can use it. You can pay generic for it instead of the 3 wind. Pretty good, limited to 1. And then reinforcement deck, we have 1 of the turn 4 Neji and Hinata, and then 2 of the turn 5s. The turn 5 has mastery, and the turn 4 is just kind of more situational if you need to reinforce on turn 4. Next we have Sakura Hinata, just in case. 2 Naruto Hinata, just in case. Garatamari Konkuro, just in case. 3 Garatamari, make sure it doesn't get sniped. It's a pretty good card in this deck. And then 1 Hokage Naruto and 1 Sage Mode. And that's it.